What's going on, YouTube? It's Trev. This is going to be one of those videos that are really just kind of off the top of my head. Probably not a lot of structure because I have some thoughts and I'm aggravated about some things, and I'm just going to vent for a little while. Hopefully, it won't take too long because I know you guys can't stand when I'm just venting for or ranting for like 20 minutes or half an hour. Yeah, I'm aggravated about some stuff tonight. I want to take you back a little bit, all right? Let's start here, maybe. Hold on. Let me find this. Let me take you over here. Back in March 9th, 2002, I wrote a Medium article. And actually, I had done, before I wrote the article, I think I had done a video on my other channel. I had a channel before this one. And it was basically, it started off, just kind of like a relationship kind of thing, right? But every once in a while I would throw in some stock stuff or some crypto stuff or just market things, right? So I did a video when the president came out with his executive order looking basically to put regulations on cryptocurrency. I did the video and I reviewed the executive order, and then I wrote a Medium article about it as well. And I basically warned back then. I said, nobody's paying attention to this, but I think we need to pay attention to it because these guys are serious about it. The reason that they're putting together an executive order and launching this fact-finding, he wanted every aspect of government to go on a fact-finding mission about cryptocurrency to basically see how they could rein it in. And I just knew then that this is something that they wanted to get control of for a lot of different reasons. And they were basically spinning a lot of things to say, well, for your own protection, we need to do this. And, there is that argument to be made that cryptocurrency could stand a little regulation, right? But they talked about, the different ways that people could use it for nefarious means and things like that, right? So I warned at that point. I said, we need to pay attention to this, okay? Nobody paid attention to it. Nobody paid attention to it because there was this denial thing that was going on, saying, no, we're decentralized. They can try to do whatever they want to do. They can't touch us. They can't do anything, right? Strict denial. And I argued and I said, it's the government, and don't underestimate what they can do. Because just because you think it's this and just because you think it's that doesn't mean anything. They can do more than you think, right? But nobody wanted to hear it. So they came back with some findings, and I think I talked about that too. And basically, the findings, they knew what the findings were going to be before they even wrote this report, right? They knew what they wanted to do. In this report, there's no way this report wasn't going to support what they wanted to do. And what they wanted to do is regulate and take control of cryptocurrency. They want to have their own kind of cryptocurrency bank. If anything's going to be backed by anything, they want it to be backed by their banks, right? Not by a stable coin or whatever. The governments of the world, and particularly the U.S. government, they just want control over something they had no control over and they were making no money on. And that's the steps that they've taken, right? So I came across 3OhDAO. Now 3OhDAO I found really interesting because 3OhDAO was a cryptocurrency project that basically was a super PAC. A super PAC is basically, you put money together and you support a candidate or candidates or whatever you want to do with that money. There are limitations on the candidates themselves as far as how much that they can actually use for their candidacy, or how much money that they can raise. But if you have a super PAC is separate from the candidate, and you can raise whatever you want to raise, and you can do whatever you want to do with the money, right? So 3OhDAO was a super PAC, and they used the coin that they had on the market, basically to raise money for the super PAC, and anyone who held the coin could actually vote on what the super PAC, like what the donations, where they would go, who they were going to support, what was going to be done with the profits, with the proceeds. I thought it was a phenomenal idea. Because we need, and I've known since March, or maybe a little before, we need to get a hold of the people in Washington who actually are pro cryptocurrency, and we need to light a fire under their butt, or we need to support them in any way that we can, financially or whatever other way, so that we're making sure the people that are for us are getting elected, or are staying in office, right? And that's what 3OhDAO was going to do. Well, in true crypto community fashion, I hate to say, 3OhDAO had trouble staying afloat and making any money to actually do these things that they wanted to do. It's a noble cause. It's an unbelievable cause. It's a great idea. And they were in the mix in Washington, talking to the lobbyists, talking to the lawmakers. They knew what was going on before some other people knew what was going on, because they were in there talking with people, right? It's really, really what we needed. But the community just simply did not support it, right? And I say typical of the crypto community, because what I see is that we very often want somebody else to do it for us. We just want to invest and we want to get rich, right? I'm going to invest, but if there's work to do, if there's burning, if there's this, if there's that to do, most people just want to have somebody else do it. They want to invest their money, sit back, let somebody else do the work, and then they want to make some money from that. And that's kind of what was going on with 3OhDAO. Not enough people were actually jumping in and saying, yeah, we need to actually support this because we need to do the work, or actually, put our money in places that is actually going to help the big picture, right? So basically, 3OhDAO has changed their platform. Now, the intention is still all the same things that 3OhDAO intended to begin with, but what they've done is they've moved to this. Lotto, so they've changed the name, everything, right? It's Lotto 3, or Lotto 3 DAO. It's still 3OhDAO. But what they've had to do is they've had to come up with a way where people might actually want to get involved, and they came up with a lottery platform. With this lottery platform, people will actually be able to, get some pretty good jackpots and stuff, and they're trying to use that twist, right, to get people to actually invest in the project, and they still want to take that money and do the work that they were doing with 3OhDAO, but they couldn't get people to just volunteer to donate. So now it's like, all right, well, what if we do this for you? What if we give you a lottery and give you the opportunity to win a lot of money? They're doing whatever they can. And it's a shame to me that they actually even have to go this far to get people to say, yeah, it's a great cause. We absolutely need that, okay? But this is what they've had to go to. And because everyone is in denial and everybody wants somebody else to do it for them, right? And nobody wants to admit or feel like, cryptocurrency is ever in any danger at all because it's decentralized, it's this, it's that, right? Because of all that, we find ourselves in a very precarious situation right now in the Terra Classic network. Just a few days ago, right? Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. Where would it be? What did I do with it? I know I had it here somewhere. I think this is it. Yep, this is it. Okay. Just a few days ago on this crypto news, right? But it's CoinMarketCap. They released this article about the SEC allegations and charges against Do Kwon. Now, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I've actually read through it a few times, and it kind of sickens me. But if you haven't read this, you should find it and you should read it. Because what they're talking about is, the allegations that he has been, stealing a lot of money. Right after the DPEG, he supposedly moved a crap load of Bitcoin, moved it to a Swiss bank or something. No, moved it to a wallet, this, kind of whatever, kind of shady little wallet, right? And all along has been withdrawing from that wallet to some bank in Switzerland, turning it into fiat and collecting an awful lot of money, right? So they've tracked the wallets, and they see what's going on, and now they're going to charge him, right? They also they allege that he knew that things had gone wrong with the pegging long before maybe we even knew about it. And they were actually manually keeping the peg because the algorithm itself had failed. And at a time, for a time period, it wasn't even the algorithm that was keeping. Let me go to, because I might be wording it wrong. So it was like at the bottom of the. All right. The SEC has alleged that in addition to UST and Luna being unregistered securities, Terraform Labs has secretly propped up the value of UST repeatedly through human market making, without revealing the failure of the DAO's arbitrage algorithm. The Terraform ecosystem was neither decentralized nor financed, says Gerber Gruel, director of the SEC's Division of Enforcement. It was simply a fraud, propped up by a so-called algorithmic stablecoin, the price of which was controlled by the defendants, not any code. So they're saying that the algorithm at a point wasn't even working, right? And that what was actually keeping everything going, they were doing it manually. I suppose they feel it was basically to kind of hide what was going on and to give them a chance to get a bunch of money out because they saw it going under and diving, right? Is this why they didn't accept any help from Binance when it was offered? Why they really wanted to just do this fork? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are going to come out right now. But it's just another reason that the SEC is using to come at us hard with a bunch of regulation, right? And, the future, honestly, of UST, Luna, maybe even Lunk, some people are saying, is kind of up in the air. And nobody wanted to pay attention to this stuff way back when. I did those, where was I? Let me see. Hold on a second. I did those videos on 3OhDAO like 5 months ago, right? They were talking about all this. They were telling everybody, this stuff is coming. You need to pay attention to it, right? Even my thumbnails, digital asset regulation, stablecoin bill imminent, right? They've been talking 4 months ago, back in March. They've been talking about this for a long time. And nobody wanted to admit it, and now all of a sudden here it is, right? And we're getting smacked with it. It's going to be some time before all this stuff is resolved. First off, they're not even positive where Do Kwon is. And since he's not in the United States, can we even bring him to court? Can we bring this whole case to court? And if not, if we're waiting to get him from wherever he is, how long is this actually going to take? I'm frustrated because we should have seen this coming. So many people in denial and said it would never happen. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to be a problem. Well, it's a freaking problem, right? It's a major problem right now. So, I don't know how to really feel about it. We've got people on all sides of it. Some people saying that Lunk and USTC could get wrapped up in it because truly Lunk is the Luna that was talked about in the lawsuit, right? He forked off version 2, and that's a whole new coin. But what is in the suit, the Luna that is in the suit, is now LUNC. So some people are saying, well, that means that it's LUNC and USTC that is actually going to get caught up in this suit. And some people are saying, no. Once he forked off and kind of abandoned it, anything going forward from there is okay. We're good. You know what I mean? It's the stuff that he did with it before that is a problem. I don't know which way is right. I'm not a financial advisor, and a lot of these people who are making these claims aren't financial advisors or legal experts or anything like that. They're just assuming things because it's what makes sense to them. But if you're not one of the attorneys, right, working this case and have access to all of the evidence and all of the things that are going to be brought into this case, you simply don't know. You can take your best guess all you want, but you don't know. And that's where we are, okay? So I'm frustrated. I'm aggravated. I really don't know what to tell you. It's going to be a while before we figure all this out. It really is. So I want everybody to do their due diligence. I want you to, when these articles are written, read the articles. Don't come to me. Don't go to any other YouTuber or to a Twitter space to get your information and to form your opinion according to what any of us say. Form your own opinion. Read all the articles. Figure out what's going on for yourself. Use your own brain, right? You can listen to us, but listen to everything because everybody's on all sides. And try to figure out for yourself what is best for you to do, okay? Hopefully, no one invested any more than they can afford to lose. And, so you can afford to kind of hold on and see how this all plays out. But for those of you who... we're expecting LUNC to be at $1 by the end of 2023, and you invested way more than you should have, you might have some decisions to make. That's the truth of it, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm never going to blow smoke up your butt. You're never going to get confirmation bias, but it's not FUD either. It's just reality. You need to figure it out for yourself what's going on. As I get information, I'll absolutely bring it to you. I'll always be honest with you and let you know exactly what's going on. Right now, we are hard-pressed to find a lot of LUNC videos. Just a few weeks ago, every other video that was being released by a bunch of people was about LUNC, was about Terra Classic, right? Now, those same guys... I see them on Twitter asking, hey, what do you guys want us to talk about? You want us to talk about this? You want us to talk about that? They're looking for other things to get into, and they're not even doing videos on LUNC because nobody knows what the hell's going on. Well, I'll keep doing them. They're not always going to be positive. They're not always going to be negative. They're just going to be my perspective and the truth as I'm seeing it, right? But other than that, you guys are going to have to figure it out. The rest, what you're going to do with your money, you got to figure that out for yourself. And I'm here with you. I'm still invested, and I've got my fingers crossed that everything works out. But we need to stop paying attention, guys, right? This stuff is getting serious, and we can't keep being in denial as if it's not going to affect us. It is going to affect us. Hopefully, it's not going to affect us that bad, but we'll find out. All right. I will talk to y'all later. Ciao.